now with a record of 5-1, trying to make it 6 wins in a row. And Mike, the Mariners are looking for their 7th sweep this year.
Well, I think the other thing, too, is to win 6 in a row. They haven't done that. They've won 5 in a row 5 times this year. But I think also looking at this trip, you and I talked about it, win the series in Oakland, win the series here in Texas. They've already done both of those things, a chance to get greedy and win this one today with Paxton on the mound.
They've got a good one on the mound. Lefty James Paxton going for the Mariners, and veteran southpaw Derek Holland making only his 2nd start of the year. Had that injury during the offseason, going for the Rangers.
And what we've seen from Paxton, he is completely healthy. We've seen him in 97, 98 miles an hour with the good curveball. And with every outing, he seems to get a little bit sharper, Rick. A little bit rusty when he first came back. But his stuff has been much, much better as of late. And I think if he can command the strike zone with that good fastball, he should get some quick outs like he did right here. Double play was a good friend of him in that series up in Oakland. So hopefully he'll be able to command the fastball today. And if he can, I think he'll get some work deep into this game. His last outing, or 2 outings ago against the Rangers, he had to throw 118 pitches. So hopefully he's a little more efficient than that in today's game.
Derek Holland had that injured knee, had surgery during the offseason, only his 2nd start. What can they expect from Derek Holland?
Well, from what they said, at 7 innings that he pitched against Kansas City, his first outing back, only gave up 1 earned run, and everybody said he looked like the same old Derek Holland, the guy that has commanded the fastball. He has a good fastball. He will use it a lot, cut it in on the hands of the right-handers. So have to be aware of that. But typically he's going to be aggressive. And the Mariners, they know what he's all about. He has pitched well against Seattle, but a different-looking lineup today. Hopefully they can make some adjustments against him.
What a year for Mariners third baseman Kyle Seager. Another home run last night, his 23rd of the year, a career high, and it really came at a great time.
Well, it did again for him. A lot of his home runs have been clutch for this club, and you go back to Wednesday and what Kyle was able to do in Oakland against a really good left-handed pitcher in John Lester. Mariners behind 1-0, getting late in the ball game, but Kyle's able to tie it up with his 22nd home run of the year, and that's something that we've seen from him. Go all the way back to April 23rd when he started to get hot. He's really carried this club, and the reason why is this last night. Take another look at it, a 2-run homer. The Mariners really weren't able to get anything going until Kyle hits this 2-run homer to tie the ball game up again. He has been something. Career highs now in home runs and RBIs for Kyle. A chance to get to 25 and drive in 100. 2 nice milestones for a young player.
He is fun to watch. And then Kendrys Morales, Mike, his bat really heating up. He's had a lot of big base hits and some home runs on this road trip.
Well, the thing that is good to see is him swinging the bat well from the left side. And on Friday, you can see it's 2 home runs, both of them 2-run homers. A big part of the offense for the Mariners. This one, he almost hits off the concession stand. And he's been struggling left-handed, so they need him to get going from the left side of the plate. He comes back with a base hit left-handed last night. Picks up an RBI on the other side of the plate, hitting right-handed right here to drive in a run. And with him in the middle of the lineup, we've already shown you Kyle. We know what Cano has done all year long. You add Morales to that. The Mariners already averaging over 4.5 runs a game since the trade deadline. That's a big lift for them when you consider the pitching and the way they play defense.
Absolutely. Mariners have that engine rolling in the middle part of the order. It's the Mariners and the Texas Rangers. And the Mariners go for the sweep, the final game of the road trip. And they're looking for 6 wins in a row. We'll be back with the starting lineups from Globe Life Park in Arlington right after this timeout. And welcome back to Globe Life Park here in Arlington, Texas. What a beautiful ballpark. It is sunny. It is hot. Hey, it's Texas, but the good news, it's not raining. We had a 3-hour and 13-minute rain delay before the ball game last night. The Mariners played, and they won 4-2 over the Rangers, and now they got a chance for the sweep. Rick Riz, Mike Blowers, and time now for the Saturday lineups.
And for Lloyd McClendon, getting the right-handed hitters in the lineup today. Austin Jackson leading off. Then it's DeNorfia. Ackley with the afternoon off. Cano, Morales, Kyle Seager. He's done on the road trip in 6 games, hit .409 average with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. Corey Hart, the DH, hitting 6. Romero, Taylor, and Sucre rounding out the 9 for the Mariners.
And Derek Holland is ready to go. Stepping in to lead things off is Austin Jackson. And the first pitch of the ball game on the way, and it's down and away for ball 1, and we are underway. Here's a look at the home plate umpire, Angel Hernandez. Vic Carapaz at first. Paul Noward at second. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, is the umpire third as Jackson lines one into straightaway center field. Austin Jackson with a leadoff single on pitch number 2 from Derek Holland, and we are underway. Holland only his second start of the year, Mike.
Well, he was good in his first outing against Kansas City, where he went 7 innings, giving up just the 1 earned. But we'll take a look at his numbers from last year. A 10-game winner with a 3.42 ERA, and in 213 innings, he had 189 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .259 off of him last year. He did give up 20 home runs.
He had that strange accident at home during the offseason where he tripped over his dog Wrigley and tore up his left knee. Had to have the surgery in January. Here's the pitch to DeNorfia, and Chris takes a look at ball 1. So right away, that's when it all started, when the downward spiral for the Rangers with so many injuries this year.
Well, they've had a number of them, and they've also ended up losing some guys to free agency and trading some of them away. And you can barely recognize this club at this point. All the new guys that they have, the new faces, all the young players that they're running out there.
25 DLs for the Rangers this year. What, 68, 69 players. Here's the next offer to DeNorfia, and it's a strike called, and the count is now 2-1. Dustin Ackley with a sore ankle that he suffered in last night's ball game, so DeNorfia getting the start in left field. DeNorfia hitting .224 as a Mariner, a home run and 4 runs batted in, .242 with the Padres. And a move to first as Jackson takes off. Ruo's throw down to the shortstop Sardinas, and he puts the tag on Jackson, and there's 1 away.
For Jackson, he's not trying to read the move. He's going to take off right away. And you can see Holland seeing that, throws over to first. And an easy rundown for him to pick up the first out for Holland.
And that'll go in the book as a caught stealing, so 1 out and nobody on.
A lot of base runners in today's game, especially against the lefties. I'll try to guess when they're going to go to home or throw over. And
first movement.
Yeah. Austin didn't guess right on that one.
It happens. Derek Holland from Newark, Ohio. Ground ball, third base line. Right there, Rosales on the run, and his toss across is in time to get DeNorfia. So for the Mariners, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning.
Take a look at the defense for the Rangers. Robertson in left field, Martin, the center fielder, Choice out and right. Rosales at third, Sardinas and Odor playing up the middle. Ruoff had been in left field the last couple nights, over at first base today, and JP Arancibia will do the catching.
And again, another different look by the Texas Rangers. So many young players on this ball club right now. Here's second baseman Robinson Cano. In the meantime, for the Mariners, they start play today with a record of 78 and 63. Mike, 15 games over the 500 mark. That's their high water mark. 0-1 on Cano.
Well, they won 17 games in the month of August, and we felt that they had to repeat that in September if they wanted to be in the hunt. And right now they're on pace to do a little bit better than that, Rick, which is a good start to the month for them. It's been a good road trip. Looking to win 6 in a row now.
How about that? 5-1 in September. And that's after losing the first game of the trip in Oakland, 6-1. Fouled back by Cano. The count is now 0-2. So they did a great job to bounce back and win the next 2 games against the A's to win that series. And they won the opening 3 games of this 4-game series here in Texas. Mariners will be home tomorrow night to take on the Houston Astros. Game 1 of that 3-game series. Up and away on Cano for ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Felix Hernandez will get the start tomorrow night, Mike, and you know Kings Court will be in session.
Oh, it'll be a great crowd tomorrow. Houston's playing better baseball, but Felix He enjoys that crowd at Safeco Field and the court and the high court. Don't forget about the high court, right?
Swing and a foul back by Cano. The count is still 1-2. So we'll see a lot of T-shirts, King Felix T-shirts in that left field corner, in the lower deck and in the upper deck. We'll see the King pitch tomorrow night. As Rowan Asilias off to his left and Andy Chavez to his right. Andy's played so very well this year. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Derek Holland, a 25th round draft pick by the Rangers back in 2008. Time called. Cano backs away from home plate.
One of the things you'll see from Holland today is he throws a lot of fastballs. He will pitch inside to the right-handers. He'll use a cut fastball and a two-seamer.
Fly ball into deep center field. Going back is Martin. He's there in front of the one. He tried to make the catch, and that is out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, but nobody left on. We're underway here in Texas. We go to the bottom of the first. Mariners nothing, and the Rangers coming up. Young left-hander James Paxton on the mound this afternoon for the Mariners. A record of 5-1 with a 1.91 ERA. And again, a look at the lineups for the Texas Rangers.
Only a couple of left-handers in the lineup for the Rangers today. One of them, Martin, the leadoff hitter. And then it's Robertson, Rosales, Adrian Beltre, the cleanup hitter, and the DH today. A .368 home average this season. That leads the American League. And it's Aaron Sevia choice, Odor, Rua, and Sardinas rounding out the 9 for the Rangers. Take a look at what Paxton on the year. 5-1 record, a 1.91 ERA in 47 innings. He has 35 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just .213 against Paxton. Good fastball at time. He'll be 95 to 97 with a good curveball. The defense for the Mariners. DeNorfia in left field. Jackson center. Romero in right. Seager the third baseman. Taylor and Cano playing up the middle. Kendrys Morales at first, and Jesus Sucre will do the catching.
And the Rangers coming up here in the bottom of the first. Leonys Martin shows bunt, and he takes a strike 0-1. He started the bottom of the first inning last night with a bunt single. He has 11 of them this year. That leads the major leagues. That's why Seager's playing up close at third. And a swing and a miss, and the count goes to 0-2. James Paxton really has opened up a lot of eyes. He has the best ERA, one of the best in baseball history, after 12 career appearances. A 1.77 earned run average. The only other pitcher in history to have a better ERA, Mike, Steve Rogers of the Montreal Expos with a 1.16 ERA. That's it.
We've talked about James, and you know, the thing that I keep going back to is he's just special. You don't find many left-handers with his size that can throw up to 98 miles an hour. Has a really good curveball, mixing an occasional changeup.
Foul ball right side. Cano off to his left, shallow right field. Gets the throw to first and plenty of time to Morales to get Martin, keep him off the bases. And there's one away.
And another reason why is because he's right over the top pitching downhill. Gets a lot of ground ball outs as Cano is able to handle this one with no problem at all. See a lot of ground ball outs. When he's pitching well, he's at the bottom of the strike zone.
He's made some nice plays on this road trip and really all season long. Brings up left fielder Daniel Robertson. Robertson batting .292, no home runs, and 17 runs batted in. This season, like the Rangers have had this year, some young players will kind of separate themselves from the pack. This young man has played well, so has Rougned Odor, their second baseman. Fastball is low for ball one. One ball and one strike.
The Rangers are trying to make a lot of decisions, Rick, and Sardinas has also played well. He's played second base and shortstop. That'll be a good utility infielder at some point. Andrews, the regular shortstop, out of the lineup today, and there's a good breaking ball from James.
Young players have a chance for the Rangers to open up some eyes and get ready for spring training for next year. The Rangers are trying to avoid a 100 loss season. Right now they're at 53 and 89.
A lot of work to do. As you mentioned, a lot of young players getting a chance to play right now and have to find a manager. A lot of changes here in Arlington.
A couple of days ago, Ron Washington announced that he would leave the ball club. There's interim manager Tim Bolgar, who is Ronnie's bench coach this year. Right at Cano at second base. A little warm burner right to him, and Robertson is out, number 2. So 2 up and 2 down, no score here in the bottom of the first inning. So GM John Daniels of the Rangers will be very, very busy this offseason, looking for a new manager. Some names have popped up in the media about who could possibly succeed Ron Washington. Ronnie had to leave because of personal matters with his family. Hopefully Ron's all right. Here's third baseman Adam Rosales.
Good sign for Paxton so far early on. A couple of ground ball outs.
Fastball right there in the inside corner. 0-2. Proud Canadian has that maple leaf tattoo right there in his right arm.
Paxton in his last outing against the A's, 14 ground ball outs, just 4 fly ball outs for him. Had a number of double play balls that helped him out.
What an advantage to keep everything on the ground.
There you can see the numbers. That was against Oakland.
6-5 win last Tuesday against the A's. 7 2/3 innings. Mike gave up just 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 2. But he just kept throwing strikes. The A's put the ball in play.
Well, he faced the Rangers at home before he left on the road trip. He went 6 2/3, did not give up an earned run. He did throw a season high 118 pitches in that outing.
I was talking with skipper Lloyd McLennan about that. I said, you know, how does it make you feel to see a kid go out there and be that strong and know that he's got 116 pitches in him? And he said he's just getting better and better and better, and knowing that he can, if his pitch count gets up at a certain point in the ball game, he can get through it and beyond. Check swing. Did he go? He did. Strike 3. The appeal down to the first base umpire, Vic Carapazza. That is strikeout number 1 for the young left-hander James Paxton, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. We go to the second, no score. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting the Far Out comedy duo Cheech and Chong, November the 8th. Love those guys. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. And by Ford, we are local. And we are in Arlington, Texas. Final game of the 4-game series. Bright sunny Sunday afternoon in Arlington. No score, and Kendrys Morales swinging a hot bat right now. We'll lead things off with a strike from Derek Holland, 0-1.
Morales hitting .294 against left-handers this year. It's definitely been the better side of the plate for him, but encouraging signs the last couple of days watching him hit left-handed. Friday night, of course, the 2 home runs, had a base hit back up the middle, solid line drive, hitting left-handed in last night's game.
A big hit to drive in that run.
That was right-handed.
To give the Mariners a 3-2 lead. Logan Morrison followed with an RBI single. Well hit ball into the gap in left center field. On the run, Robertson won't get to this one. It's on the track and off the wall. Kendrys to second. The long throw by Robertson off the line. And Kendrys with a leadoff double here in the top half of inning number 2.
It looks like he gets a changeup. It's away from him, 83 miles an hour. Robertson can also play center field, so he can cover some ground. The ball gets out into left center field in a hurry. And the Mariners' second base hit of the game is a double, leadoff double by Morales.
Good to see Kendrys swinging the bat like he has been the last few ball games. Here's third baseman Kyle Seager. What a night for Kyle. 3 for 5, a home run, a 2-run home run that tied the game. And 2-2 in the top of the 6th inning. His 23rd home run of the season. That is a career high. And he also has 88 runs batted in. That too a career high. 2 years ago he had 86 runs batted in. Last year he had 22 home runs. Ball 1.
He's had a good road trip. We showed that to you over the last 6 games, hitting .409 with 3 home runs. The Mariners have done a good job hitting with runners in scoring position, hitting .270 coming into the ball game today. That is a huge difference.
Yeah, for the year.
Yeah, for the year.
Swing and a miss by Seager. The count is 1-1, and since August the 6th, they're hitting about .330.
Well, I think you look at that. That's a big reason why. And since the trading deadline, you see what Kyle has done versus the Rangers. 18 games, .357 with 5 home runs, but runs per game up over 4.5. If they can stay over 4.5 the rest of the way, they're going to win a lot of games because of their pitching. Give them a little run support.
Ground ball right side, foul. That's what Kyle is trying to do. Get one to the right side and get Morales over to third base. Mariners, if they score 3 or more runs, Mike, they're 71-21.
It's a big number for them, and they've been able to do that on this trip. Score some runs, which has been good to see.
Fan here at Globe Life Park this afternoon. How about the fans last night? They brought their plastic parkas out and umbrellas.
Waited 3 hours and 13 minutes to the start of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think we ended up getting back to the hotel until almost 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it was 2.
I think that's another reason why for the guys today, knowing it's going to be a good pitching matchup, if they get a lead early, that would help. I have to believe that a lot of them are still tired, bouncing back with this day game today. Not a lot of sleep for them.
You've had to do that a few times. A swing and a miss by Seager for strike 3. Derek Holland with a strikeout, his first of the ball game. 1 on and 1 away.
We'll take a look at it. Well placed breaking ball down and away from Kyle.
I'll bring up designated hitter Corey Hart. Good to see this big fella back after missing a lot of time with a right knee contusion. Went on to disable his back in August the 2nd. Spent some time down at AAA Tacoma.
The encouraging thing is he came back in Oakland, had that start against Lester. We showed the home run by Kyle Seager.
Yeah.
Lester winning the ball game at the time, 1-0. Kyle ties it up with a home run, and the very next hitter was Corey Hart, and he gives them the lead with a home run. So if you can provide a little more pop for the Mariners against left-handed starters, you're in pretty good shape. The Mariners have done a good job overall. 12 games over 500 against lefties. A foot race right there.
Rua over to the pitcher. Holland covering on the play, and it's in time to get Corey Hart for the second out of the inning. And Morales will advance to third base. Well, friends, say goodbye to Monday Blues and hello to Mariners baseball and being true to the Blues. Join us tomorrow night for PECU Family Night when Felix and the Mariners take on the Astros at 7:10. Select view level seats are only $10. Make plans to start your week right by getting tickets now at Mariners.com. The Mariners are back home tomorrow night at Safeco Field. Game 1 of 3 with the Astros, an off day on Thursday, and then a big series against the Oakland A's on Friday. We hope to see some great crowds beginning tomorrow night. Here's right fielder Stephen Romero, batting just .199, 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Takes ball 1. Went down to Tacoma and hit .381, Mike.
Well, back in the lineup today, and I think more than anything it gives Lloyd McClendon a chance. It worked out pretty well when you consider the rain delay last night, how late the guys had to go to give some of the guys some time off. Indy has been playing right field, but he'll get the day off against the left-hander, Indy Chavez. Romero going to start in right field. There is Indy. Still has that bandage up on his forehead. Ended up getting 3 stitches a few nights ago, but was back in the lineup yesterday.
That first slide into second, he stole the bag, but his head collided with the left knee of Luis Sardinas. Came away with that cut, had to come out of the ball game. The good news is that he didn't suffer a concussion and was right back in the lineup tomorrow night, or rather last night. He's played very well. 1 on 2 outs, no score, top of the second. Slow roller to short, charging Sardinas on the run, fires the first in time to get Romero, and that will end the inning. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left on. We head to the bottom half of the second here in Texas. No score. For our CenturyLink link to what's next. And what's next, Mike, is a 3-game series coming up at home against Houston.
Well, you see Felix going to start things off tomorrow night. Big advantage for the Mariners, and that one likes to take the first game. McHugh has pitched well for the Astros at 2.89. He'll go up against Elias. And then, of course, Iwakuma ERA under 3 now. So it'll be fun to watch the guys. Hopefully the crowds will be big out to support them.
See you tomorrow night at Safeco Field when the Mariners get back home. Designated hitter Adrian Beltre to lead off the bottom of the second as Paxton fires away just inside. Ball 1. Mariners have been very, very careful with this guy, and rightly so. Batting .324, 17 home runs, 69 runs batted in, breaking ball for a strike, and the count is even at 1-1.
With nobody on and leading off, I think that Paxton will probably go at him a little bit, but there's good reason why they're being careful. You mentioned his numbers, having a good year again. But you have Aaron Sebia behind him hitting .168. Choice after that hitting .181.
When I was with the Tigers, Sparky Anderson, of course, was the manager, and he told me one time he went up to Willie McCovey. He said, "You're not playing today." I said, "What do you mean, Sparky? I'm not pitching to you." He said, "You can go up to home plate without a bat. I'm not pitching to you."
I saw him do that to Ken Griffey Jr. in the Kingdom.
In the air, right center field on the run. Jackson Austin is there out near the warning track to flag it down, and there's 1 out for the Rangers here in the bottom half of the second.
Most of the time when you go through your scouting reports and you look at the lineups, and every starting pitcher will do it, they will typically pick somebody out. Sometimes it's a guy that just has hit them well in the past. Somebody that's a guy that has been hot as of late. And sometimes it's the best player in the lineup. But they'll pick somebody that they're going to be careful with and maybe work around. Go after the guy behind him if they can. The best way to make that work is to get the people out in front of them.
Exactly. Make sure that guy, though, doesn't beat you. Here's JP Arancibia hitting just 168. 8 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Didn't play in last night's game. Bounces it foul out by the Mariners' third base dugout, and the count 0-1. Whoops. Got the baseball, lost the beverage, and cooled off a little bit. That happens. 0-2. And the guys in the dugout are enjoying it. That guy isn't.
He's in a lounge chair.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Paxton. 2 outs for the Rangers. Okay, the ball came from inside the dugout from Humberto Quintero and knocked over the guy's beard. The other guy got the baseball. He's just lounging on top of the Mariners dugout. Good shot by Humberto.
I'm not going to put that on him, though. Yeah, don't you have to lean forward and get the ball before it hits your drink?
Here it comes. Yeah. Got to have a little concentration. 2 outs. Here's right fielder Michael Choice. 0-1. 0-2. Uh-oh, here comes the baseball again.
Yeah, throw it to the kids. They can handle it.
Yeah. Choice hitting just 181, 9 home runs and 33 runs batted in. 84 degrees at game time this afternoon. And Mike, I'll tell you what, it was very pleasant walking out to the car at about 1:45 this morning. The temperature dropped about 20 degrees.
I think when we left the hotel it was 95, and by the time we left the ballpark last night it was 73, 72.
Soft liner, base hit, left field beyond the reach of a diving Chris Taylor. So Choice is on at first base with 2 outs, and the Rangers have their first hit off of James Paxton. Well, it's now time for you to tweet your photos using the hashtag Mariners fan photo for a chance to have it shown later on in the game. Brought to you by AT&T.
Well, James Paxton, 2 outs in the second, gives up his first base hit to Choice.
Brings up second baseman Ned Odor. Like the way this guy swings the bat, Mike, hitting 258, 8 home runs, 37 runs batted in.
We talked about it. It's a tryout for a lot of these guys that are here right now, and he has played well.
His last 9 games hitting 393. Came up from Double-A Frisco on May the 8th, early in the season, where he hit 279.
Having a good homestand. 4 for 11 with a home run.
One and one. Another interesting note about James Paxton going into today's game. He's got an active streak of 63 batters faced, Mike, without allowing an extra base hit.
I think again it's more to his fastball and the angle at which he throws it. A lot of pitches or balls that are put in play are going to be on the ground. You have to get a lot of extra base hits doing that.
Last guy to get an extra base hit off of Paxton was on August the 20th in Philadelphia. Jimmy Rollins had a 3rd inning double. Paxton from Ladner, British Columbia. Little outside, not by much, ball 3, 3-1. Pitch was a dandy right there, but just missed according to home plate umpire Angel Hernandez. On deck, Ryan Rua. Cloudy skies overhead. Good news, not rain. Chopper past the mound, charging is Cano. He's got a little flip right out of the glove over to Chris Taylor at second, just in time to get Choice, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, and a man left on. And after 2 innings of play, Mariners nothing, the Rangers nothing. No scores. We go to the top half of inning number 3, and shortstop Chris Taylor will lead things off. Had that long rain delay last night. High and outside to Taylor for ball 1. Thank goodness we got the game in. Lloyd was happy about that. We had the scenarios that the Mariners were looking at if they didn't play that game. Line to the right center, over in a hurry is Martin to make the catch. Taylor lines out, and there's one away, and let's check in with Jen Mueller. Jen? All right, thank you, Jen. Here is catcher Jesus Sucre. One out, nobody on, top of the 3rd. Well hit ball, left center field, way up there. Over is Robertson, and he makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Let's take a look at our Delta Airlines keep climbing wild card standings, Mike. And the Mariners right now lead that 2nd wild card spot, a game and a half in front of the Tigers.
Game and a half in front of the Tigers. I think more importantly, though, just 2 games behind the Athletics, with the Athletics coming to Safeco Field next weekend for a 3-game series. They just need to keep taking care of their business. I think Oakland is feeling some pressure right now. And remember, they were leading the West for a long time, and now they're fighting to get into the postseason, and they know that the Mariners, how well that they have been playing. That'll be a fun series to watch.
The A's have had a rough time since the trade deadline.
Yeah, they have, and of course, for the Mariners, you'd like to see them get this one today. Chance to win 6 in a row for the first time this year. They've had 5 in a row, 5 different times, but haven't been able to get to 6.
Line drive left field, starting in Robertson. Now going back is Robertson to make the catch as Jackson flies out, and that will end the inning. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd here in Texas. No score. Third, say friends tomorrow. The Mariners open up an important 6-game homestand behind their ace pitcher Felix Hernandez as he toes the rubber against the Houston Astros beginning at 7:10. Make your voice heard when you cheer them on from the King's Court. Pick up a ticket and t-shirt for only $30 when you log on to mariners.com/Felix. Rick Riz along with Mike Blowers from Globe Life Park here in Arlington. First baseman Ryan Rua will lead things off. Rua hitting .257, no home runs and 3 runs batted in. Dave Sims on an NFL assignment this weekend. Strike one on Rua.
Rua had a good night last night, 3 for 4. In the last couple of nights he's been in left field playing first base this afternoon.
Earned his promotion to the big leagues, Mike. At Double-A Frisco hit .300 with 10 home runs. At Triple-A Round Rock hit .313 with 8 home runs. He had 64 runs batted in for the year down in the minors. Fouled away. Good fastball from Paxton. Cowboy fans here at Globe Life Park. Cowboys' first game today. Old school right there, Roger Staubach, number 12.
Sitting with Troy Aikman.
Pretty good. They kick off at 3:30 this afternoon at Jerry World right across the street. That place is huge.
Playing between people that are in the game and around the stadium, I think 100,000 people in the area.
Get a little help leaving the ballpark today. Get to the airport, head home.
Yes.
2-2 on Rua.
I have a feeling, regardless of how this one goes today, that the guys will be quiet. A quiet trip home. They don't have to be tired. Rua, that's 4 hits in a row for him. Finished 3 for 4 last night, 3 straight hits, and now he gets a little single out into right field.
Base hit for Rua to lead things off. Soft single into right, going the other way.
Second base hit of the game. Little cutter in on his hands, and he just fights it off.
So 1 out for the Rangers. That'll bring up shortstop Luis Sardinas.
Sardinas, switch hitter. Rangers have 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup today. Martin, the leadoff hitter, and Odor, who's hitting 7th this afternoon.
And his infield up the middle, double play depth.
Kyle in on the grass at third, expecting a bunt. Sardinas runs well. And I think you can understand these 2 left-handers if the managers decide to play for a run early. Holland certainly doesn't look like a pitcher that's missed the majority of the year.
There goes the runner, low and inside into dirt, and it gets away from Sucre, and down at second goes Rua. It'll be a stolen base. He was off to the races, and the count is now 2-0 on Sardinas.
And this is going to be a hit and run. So they put it on at the right time, even though Sardinas didn't swing at it when the ball was in the dirt. He takes the pitch, but Rua isn't able to work his way down to second base, and now I'm sure Kyle will stay in on the grass expecting the bunt. Sardinas, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Rangers.
So look for the bunt from Sardinas. Sucre, little conversation with Paxton, chasing up the signs with Rua on at second. Ground ball to short. Backhanded by Taylor. Is going to go to Cano. They've got Rua in a rundown over to Kyle Seager. Seager with the tag. There goes Sardinas to second, and the throw to Taylor, and it's going to be a double play. Holy smokes, not your conventional twin killing. Over to Taylor, and they go to Cano to Seager and back to Taylor. They get Rua, they get Sardinas, and 2 outs for Texas.
Well, let's see. We have a 6, 4, and a 5. Kyle does a good job closing ground when he's going to receive this, and then back to a 6. And we talked about it with the Rangers in this series. All the young players, you're going to see them make some mistakes. We're one of the worst fielding teams also, so hopefully the Mariners can take advantage of it, but they help Paxton out right there with 2 young players making base running mistakes.
Here's Martin with a bunt attempt out in front of the plate, barehanded by Paxton. The throw to first, not in time. Martin has another bunt single, his 12th of the year.
So the double play, 6-4-5-6 double play. Martin started last night's ball game off with a bunt base hit. And again, he gets down the line in such good shape. It's not the best bunt in the world. Paxton gets off the mound in good shape. But Martin just able to beat it out with his speed. Good play by Paxton. We'll have to pay attention to him over at first. He will try to run any chance that he gets. He'll try to steal a base.
Brings up left fielder Daniel Robertson. But you're right, the key was Kyle Seager closing the gap on Rua and not giving Sardinas any time to get into second base.
Well, Kyle had a good angle on it. He could see Sardinas starting to run, and yes, the most important thing is get the out right there. But if you can keep the other guy from getting in the scoring position, that's what you want to do, and that's the reason why Kyle started to close the ground to get closer to Rua so he can put the quicker tag on him. I expected Sardinas, as you see Martin go. What a throw by Sucre.
How about that? Jesus Sucre fires a bullet down to Cano, down with a tag on Martin, trying to steal, and the Rangers just can't go anywhere on the bases here in the bottom of the third. Sucre throwing out Leonis Martin to retire the side after 3. No score. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Great defense by the Mariners in the bottom of the third. No score. We go to the top half of the fourth, and leading it off for the Mariners, left fielder Chris Denorfia. Mariners turn an unusual 6-4-5-6 double play in that bottom of the third. Fouled away by Denorfia, the first pitch from Derek Holland. 0-1. The Mariners have 2 hits off of Holland. Leadoff single by Jackson in the first, and a leadoff double by Kendrys Morales in the second.
Well, this is when we'll see the Mariners hopefully make some adjustments to Holland. The thing that we have seen from him to the right-handed hitters. He's pitched them inside, Rick. He's using his cutter inside. That last time tried to throw a 2-seamer. Had to give up on it and run it back on the inside corner. And then occasionally mix in a breaking ball like that, a slider down and in. But everything inside to the right-handers. You have the lefties in the lineup, and the Mariners only have a couple of them, Cano and Seager. With Kyle, he uses his breaking ball more. Try to keep the ball away from him at that point. It's a leadoff double by Morales, trying to keep him from pulling the ball. But he throw a lot of fastballs inside.
And a strike on Denorfia, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of these guys haven't seen Holland, so what are the veteran guys talking to the young guys about after they've seen him for the first time?
They've seen their tape. They've gone through the scouting reports on it, but it's just different, Rick, until you stand in that batter's box the first time. I'm sure a lot of them probably have an idea, but when he's able to change things up, and there's another breaking ball at the back foot, and that's what he'll try to do, speed your bat up and get you out in front. And that's one of the reasons why he's one of the tougher lefties, and he's pitched well against the Mariners in his career.
1 out for the Mariners here in the top of the 4th inning. Well, the Mariners return home tomorrow night as they continue to set their sights on a postseason berth. Every game matters, so make sure you're on hand to cheer on the boys in blue for a 3-game set against the Astros. It all starts Monday when King Felix takes the Hills. So join us for the hunt for the postseason when you get tickets at Mariners.com. Mariners and the Astros tomorrow night.
Robinson Cano 0 for 1. Hit the ball hard his first time up, but Martin, the center fielder, was able to run it down. You can see what he's done in the series. 3 for 13. Batting average at .319.
75 RBIs for the year. Outside with that breaking ball. 2 balls and no strikes.
A lot of tough RBIs for him. He's had to hit with runners in scoring position at a high average. He's been upwards of .360 most of the year. I think it's because of the way they pitch him away a lot. Sometimes they'll just put him on.
The center fielder Martin.
He's out in left center field, and that's a good reason for that. I'm sure if you look at the charts for Robinson, a lot of his hits going the other way. And you can see in this at bat, all 3 pitches off the plate away from him.
Line the other way down the left field line. He's amazing. Cano with the turn at first, heading for second. Up with the ball. Robertson the throw, and it's going to be in time. And Cano is out trying to stretch that single into a double. Daniel Robertson get into that ball down the left field line and firing on the mark to Odor. 2 outs in the inning.
Well, with 1 out, trying to get himself into scoring position. I think he thought this ball was going to get by Robertson, but again, he can also play center field, good speed, and he decides to go ahead and take a chance with 1 out to get himself into scoring position. It was an accurate throw, 1-hop throw into second, and in plenty of time.
Heck of a throw by Robertson. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Kendrys Morales, who led off the second inning with a double into the gap in left center. Sends a high fly ball, shallow center field. Coming in is Martin. He's there, and he's got it. And that's it for the Mariners. We go to the bottom of the 4th here in Texas. Mariners nothing. The Rangers nothing. Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for only $4.99 plus tax. By BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. And by Seattle City Light. Visit seattle.gov/WePower for more information. Part of the crowd here at Globe Life Park on this Sunday afternoon. Cloudy skies, but no rain, no score as well. As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, James Paxton has given up 3 hits along the way.
That section we just showed you in the concourse, it was packed last night. Everybody trying to stay out of the rain.
Not kidding. It's
not to move around.
And stuck around. They had their plastic parkas on. They had the umbrellas out. There was a couple seated right below us. They sat there for the entire 3-hour rain delay. Oh, 2 the count on Robertson. Chris Young got the start last night. The big right-hander. 5 innings. Mike gave up 2 runs. Both were unearned. Got himself out of some jams. But he gave the Mariners an opportunity, Mike, to win that ball game.
Right there with his battery mate last night, Mike Zunino, probably talking about the game last night, going over some things. Late night for Mike, getting this afternoon off. Well deserved.
You're not kidding. Ground ball, first base line, tricky hop handled by Morales. And he takes it to the back, steps on the pillow for the out on Robertson. One away for Texas. But that was a nice, really bounce back for Chris Young.
No, it was good, especially early in the game, Rick, when he was in trouble. He was in trouble in the first 3 innings and consistently was able to pitch his way out of it to give the Mariners a chance to get back in the ball game. And now he ended up giving up a couple of runs last night, but they were unearned. I thought he threw the ball much better. It was good to see. He had to throw a lot of pitches to get through the 5 innings, but then he turned it over to the bullpen, and the bullpen, well, they went out and did what they've done all year long, and that was to shut the Rangers down.
Rosales with a bunt and a beauty along the third base line, picked up by Paxton. No play. Adam Rosales, the number 3 hitter in the order for Tim Bogar, the interim manager. Second bunt base hit for the Rangers in this game.
Take a look at it. Rosales saying that Kyle was playing a little bit deeper. Rosales hitting 3rd in the lineup today. And he gets himself a base hit, as Rick mentioned. The last 2 hits given up by Paxton, bunt base hits. They've given up 4 hits in the game so far.
1 on and 1 away for designated hitter Adrian Beltre. Beltre 0 for 1 is flying out to Jackson in center field. Ball 1.
This pitch will be 50 for James. It's turning into the game that we thought it was going to be, isn't it? A couple of talented left-handers. Figured it would be difficult and teams would be limited on their opportunities. At least while these 2 are on the mound. This is trouble.
It'll pop up down the right field line. It's going to be a foul ball. Just fouled on the right field side, and the count is even on Beltre. And 1-1. Long run for Stephen Romero, but
he was over in right center field and playing deep, as you would expect with Beltre hitting.
Beltre has clubbed 393 career home runs. Mike, he is tied with Jim Edmonds for 56 on the all-time home run list.
Some big years, hasn't he?
Yep. Very consistent. Inside as Beltre has to jackknife away. Ball 2-2-1. Next in line is Joe Carter, who had 396 career home runs. He's at 55 on that home run list. Then Dale Murphy with 398. There's skipper Lloyd McClendon. Got a few in his days. How tough was Joe Carter with the Cleveland Indians, the Toronto Blue Jays? 2-2 on Beltre. Joe Carter, one of the few players in baseball history with a walk-off home run to win a World Series.
Del Murphy was one of my guys. You mentioned him at 398.
Good player. Started off as a catcher, went out to play center field.
He was a good center fielder.
Yeah.
But back then the Braves were on all the time, so that's where I get to watch them.
The Superstation.
That's right. I got to watch them all the time.
Good player, Mr. Murphy. Back-to-back MVP awards in the early 80s. Runner goes. Pitch for a ball, and no throw down to second base by Sucre because it's going to be ball 4. So Beltre with the walk, and now the Rangers have runners on at first and second with 1 up. But you give Sucre, Mike, a chance to throw out a runner, he's going to get him, and we saw that when he gunned down Leonys Martin trying to steal last inning.
Yeah, it wasn't a great jump by Rosales. If it hadn't been ball 4, I think he would have nailed him too. But early on, you can tell Tim Bogar, interim manager for the Rangers, is going to be aggressive in this one. He doesn't have anything to lose. May as well push it. He has a bunch of young athletes in his lineup. I think he's going to use their speed today, especially with Paxton on the mound.
He's been running early in the ball game. Already 2 bunt singles. Here's J.P. Arancibia.
1 stolen base, 1 caught stealing.
See the game plan that the managers and the coaches come up with at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they put it in play at 2 o'clock this afternoon when this game started. Fouled away on the third base side, right past third base coach Gary Pettis, and the count is even on Aaron Seavey at 1 ball and 1 strike. Gary can play a little bit, couldn't he, out there in center field?
Very good center fielder. He was one of those center fielders too, and we see it with Martin. Probably the reason why he does it, but Gary always played shallow. He was really good going back on the ball, and you don't see many center fielders do that, but Martin, I have noticed, he plays shallow.
He didn't want anything to drop in front of him. Sure of himself to get back at a ball. Fouled away again by Aaron Seavey as the count goes to 1-2.
I remember
shallow too.
He did, and I can remember one of the things I had to laugh about a little bit. But Chris Bosio, he used to say that all the time. He would bring the guys in, and he wanted them all to play shallow. And he said, if they hit it over your head, that's my fault. I made the mistake.
Yeah.
You come in here and take these base hits away from them. I thought that was
strategy.
Well, and that also frees your outfielders up to go try to make some plays for you. Understanding that's the way the pitcher feels about it.
Up and outside to JP. Ball 2 balls and 2 strikes. How much fun was it playing behind Chris Bosio?
It was great. I loved it. You knew you were going to get some action. First of all, he wasn't going to strike out a lot of guys. At least when he struck out more when he was in Milwaukee, but by the time he came to Seattle, you knew you were going to get some work, which made it fun.
Fly ball into shallow left field. Coming in toward the line is Denorfia. Chris waits, squeezes it, and 2 outs for the Rangers here in the bottom of the 4th. Brings up right fielder Michael Choice. Here's your Century link to what's next. Mariners and the Houston Astros. Tomorrow night, game 1 of a 3-game series. Felix against Brad Peacock, and then Roenis Elias against Colin McHugh. And Masashi Wakuma, the machine, going against Nicholas Tropiano, who will be making his major league debut.
I thought it was interesting on the last homestand. We had some good crowds at the ballpark, and to hear the guys talk about that it helps, and especially this time of the year. They're playing well. Come on out and support these guys. Did a good job. Felix can kick things off. That's always fun.
He's ready to go right now. He is fired up.
He's tired. He didn't get to the hotel until after 2 o'clock in the morning too. It was a late game. Early riser today. I think he's probably thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll be ready. Trust me.
I've said it many times about him. It's one thing to be a star in this game, and obviously Felix is superstar in this game, but the fact that he recognizes everything that goes on around him with the King's Court and the High Court and all that stuff. He gets it. He pays attention to it. He appreciates it. It's a rare thing.
And he said so many times, when he gets to 2 strikes on a hitter, he says, I don't want to let those people down. He says, I got to go for the strikeout.
I'm sure that he does.
They're on their feet. They've got the K cards going. They're having a great time. They're going K. And Felix goes, I got to strike this guy out. And here comes that changeup that disappears when he gets up the whole plate. That's got to be the nastiest pitch of baseball.
Between Felix and the fans in Seattle, we're starting to see a lot of other clubs try to steal that from him.
Pop up, shallow right toward the line. Cano is there, and Robinson will put it away off his left shoulder, and that's it for the Rangers. They leave a couple stranded, and we go to the top half of the 5th. No score. For our Seattle City Light power play. And how about this swing by Kyle Seager last night, Mike?
Well, they needed it. They were behind 2-0, and Kyle looking to tie the ball game up after Cano's base hit, and that is exactly what he was able to do. Kyle is 23rd home run on the year, 88 RBIs, leads the club in both of those categories. And home runs and RBIs, career highs for him now.
That lit up the night for Lloyd McClendon. And the Mariners, Kyle Seager leading off the top half of the 5th inning.
Holland pitched him away his first time up. Was able to strike him out on a slider down and away. Kyle having a good series, 4 for 12, including that home run that he hit last night.
Started safely in 10 of his last 11 games for an average of .333.
Well, he catches a break right there. That fastball was on the corner. Angel Hernandez, home plate umpire, called it a ball. So 2-0 count for Kyle. See if he can get a fastball that he can handle. They want to go away with it.
And it is down and away for ball 3. 3-0.
And Kyle, I know for the majority of the year, has had the green light in 3-0 count. It's a couple of home runs hitting 3-0, so I'm sure Lloyd will turn him loose.
And he did. Line drive right at the second baseman Odor's shoestring catch. And Seager had that green light. 1 out for the Mariners, and Lloyd is very, very confident when he gives Kyle Seager the green light.
Yeah, he and Cano so far. Cano picked up a base hit down the left field line, was thrown out at second, trying to stretch it into a double, and that was on a 3-0 count. Now Kyle lines out, hitting 3-0.
Brings up designated hitter Corey Hart. Ball 1. Mariners with a game-and-a-half lead over the Detroit Tigers for that second wild card. And just 2 back of the Oakland A's for the first wild card. Getting fun, folks.
Houston at Oakland, they are just getting underway.
Houston took a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 9th inning yesterday, and the A's came back with 3 to win it. Josh Reddick hit a 2-run double to the wall, and then Jed Lowry walk-off single.
Well, as good as the Mariners have been on the road this year, the Athletics are just as good at home. And a big reason why is those late games, to come back in the late games, typically 8th and 9th inning, and you think you have it won against them, and they take it right back from you. Mariners didn't let that happen, though. Start this road trip off winning 2 out of 3 against the A's.
Mariners have 35 come from behind wins this year. That's 3rd in the major leagues.
And Curtis reminds me that the Mariners also won 3 out of 4 in May in Oakland. Well, the Mariners played well in Oakland.
They really have. And for years, that was such a tough place to try to win. Off speed and a swing and a miss by Hart for strike 3, and that is strikeout number 3 for Derek Holland. And the Mariners have 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Well, stick around after the game for Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. And we're going to be talking about on the postgame show, Mike, this pitching matchup. Paxton against Holland.
Well, it's been a good one, and again, you wonder sometimes. It looks like it's going to be a great matchup on paper, but this one is playing out right here in front of us. Holland on top of his game again. Only his 2nd start of the year. Has missed the majority of the year. Pitched well against Kansas City in his first outing. Only gave up 1 run in 7 innings, and he's on top of his game today. Able to locate his fastball. Has had a good changeup and slider.
So they haven't had this guy basically all season long because of that knee surgery in January. Yu Darvish was shut down a few weeks ago. He's out for the rest of the year. Harrison with the back surgery.
Another talented lefty.
Fielder, surgery on his neck. Sinshu Chu, the bad elbow on the deal, and on and on and on.
It hurts. You can lose a couple of guys and try to hang in there. You lose that many guys, quality players.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that big payroll on the disabled list.
Fly ball straight away left field. Daniel Robertson is there to make the catch for out number 3. Romero flies out, and we're at the halfway point. We go to the bottom of the 5th here in Texas. Still the Mariners nothing and the Rangers nothing. His name is Jeff. He's a big Washington State Cougar fan. He was originally from Mercer Island, now lives in the Dallas area, and he's enjoyed the ball game this afternoon, rooting on the Mariners against the Texas Rangers. Cougar fans here at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, still no score. James Paxton battling Derek Holland. You know, we talk about, how talented this kid is, Mike, with his stuff, his ability to throw strikes. What about his composure? Nothing seems to bother this kid.
A lot of people have asked me about that, and as you look at the Mariners and them trying to get into the postseason play, I think a lot of people feel that if they end up with that one-game playoff, Felix, of course, the best in the business, would go for you, and that makes sense. And then they were asking me about Paxton, if he has to start a series, if the Mariners are able to win it, as Odor grounds out to second. And I said, I'm completely fine with it. I'm confident. I'll run him out there in 2 seconds. It wouldn't bother me in the least, because I don't think it would bother him. If you watch him or you're around him, you listen to him, and then you watch him on the mound, he doesn't change. It doesn't matter. Now, he's had a lot of success, and that helps, too. And he's a talented young man, but I don't see how that would bother him at all.
Nothing gets to
him. We were
him.
talking about it earlier when he threw 118 pitches, and Lloyd was talking about him being strong and feeling good, and he doesn't have a lot of innings this year. He made the same comment after the game. I felt fine. I could have pitched more if they wanted me to. I love that answer.
Yeah.
It's a great answer.
After 118 pitches.
He wasn't looking to come out of the ball game.
Yeah.
That's great. And I have no issues with him starting one of the playoff games if the Mariners can get there.
There's a young guy that as Rua is the hitter, 1-for-1 with a bloop single to right field, that he can get you at least to the 7th and in the 8th inning. Most of his starts. Chopper past the mound and behind second. Right there is Robinson Cano. The flip to first, low, and Morales cannot pick it out of the dirt. And safe at first base is Rua. 1 on and 1 away for the Rangers. And that is going to be there on the throw by Cano.
When you see Cano, plenty of time. Sidearm throw. That's the way he throws it all the time. But this one ends up in the dirt. And in between hop. Not an easy pick for Morales. He feels that he should have come up with it, but a bit tougher. You get the short hop, you would expect a major league first baseman to pick it, but on an in-between hop like that, a little bit tougher.
So 1 on for the Rangers with 1 down, and that'll bring up shortstop Luis Sardinas.
That'll be a rare E4.
In the dirt, knocking it down, Sucre to keep Rua at first base. It was Sardinas that hit into that very unusual 6-4-5-6 double play in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Rua was on at second base when Sardinas hit that ground ball to Taylor at short, and Rua took off at third, and Taylor went to Cano. Cano over to Seager. Seager back to Taylor. After Seager put the tag on Rua, then the throw to Taylor to get Sardinas.
A couple of base running mistakes.
The same play.
Young club. We've seen that in this 4-game series, them making some mistakes.
So great little dinged up on that.
No, that's pitch in the dirt. Yeah, I think he just needs a little bit of time to shake it off.
Out of play. 1-1. Paxton with a share of ground ball outs this afternoon, looking for another one right here. Update in Minnesota, it's the Angels 12 and the Twins 3. That game is in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And the dirt, knocking it down. Sucre has got to negotiate his way around Sardinas, the hitter, but holding at first base, Rua. Ball 2, 2-1. How about the Angels with the best record in the major leagues at 86 and 55?
I think Sucre is having an issue with his hand, and I think it's his throwing hand. A couple of pitches during this at bat that have been in the dirt. He's moving his fingers around. I'm always amazed that these guys can actually hit with the beating that they take behind the plate.
Fouled away again by Sardinas as the count goes to 2-2, and he fired a BB down to Robinson Cano, throwing out Martin, trying to steal in the 3rd, and Martin, I think, had a pretty good jump.
I thought he had a good jump.
That throw got to Cano in a hurry. about the old time catchers, Blow, when they had those mitts that didn't have the break in it. They had to catch with 2 hands. Ground ball to Seager at third. Over to Cano. There's one. Relay to first. There's 2. Double play. And that's it for the Rangers. In the bottom of the 5th inning, they get Rua at second. Double up Sardinas at first base after 5 innings of play. Still no score.
Often whine about the Mariners schedule makers and the trips they seem to send them on. Well, how about the dilemma they have in Texas today? The Rangers are playing here. The Dallas Cowboys are playing at the exact same time across the way. Can you imagine the Mariners and the Seahawks playing at the exact same time? Traffic has been terrible, and apparently it's going to get worse. These 2 games could get out at near the same time. It is why the Mariners have a police escort to take them to their flight home, guys.
Thank you, Ange. And
we appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Thank you. No scores. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Leading it off, Chris Taylor. A ground ball to short. Sardinas is there, and he gets Taylor 1 pitch and 1 away. So they got a packed house right across the street at the home of the Dallas Cowboys. Kickoff is right about now. Brings up catcher Jesus Sucre. Football's kind of big here in Texas, isn't it, Mike?
They seem to enjoy it. You pick up the paper. I was looking at the paper today, and they actually have 2 sports sections in there. And they have what you would consider your normal sports section, and the other one is just football from high school on all the way up to the Cowboys. And it's a big deal. There's no question about that.
They love their football here in Texas. We do too at home. Seattle Seahawks, the Super Bowl champs from last year. Derek Holland has given up only 3 hits. Make it 4. Line drive left field line. This one is going to be a fair ball in toward the corner. Sucre heading for second. Robertson's throw and safe at second is Sucre. Somehow he gets underneath the tag of Odor. What a throw by Robertson, and Jesus in at second with a 1-out double.
Robertson Cano tried to stretch one into a double earlier, and Robertson was able to throw him out. Well, just stays fair. It was a rocket down the left field line, but Sucre able to get his foot on the base just in time. So with 1 out, he'll stand in there with a double. Give Austin Jackson a chance to drive in a run. The Mariners 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And for Jackson, he is 1 for 2 off of Holland this afternoon.
Sucre hit a rocket bike off the wall. It was just fair, and that ball came right back to Robertson in a hurry.
Well, it's that angle that they have down in the corner. And he played it perfectly.
Hit right there. See that dent where the ball hit. 1 out and 1 away, and here's Austin Jackson. The Mariners have the go-ahead run on its second. Still no score in the ball game. Jackson had a leadoff single way back in the first. He's 1 for 2. He's also lined out to Robertson in left field.
Sucre over his last 5-6 games He's done a good job swinging the bat, Rick. He's been checking in with his base hits, driving in a run here and there, along with doing a good job behind the plate.
He got the start in the opening game of the series and went 2 for 4 and drove in 2 runs. Sucre, a nice addition. The Mariners designated for assignment veteran catcher John Buck back on July the 8th. 1-1 on Jackson. Austin from Denton, Texas.
One of the things we've seen from Holland, Rick, is when the Mariners have had runners in scoring position, we see more changeups and sliders from him. Up to that point, he's been really aggressive with his fastball.
Out even on Jackson. Line drive into right field, and making the catch is Michael Choice. Back to second goes Sucre. Hard hit ball the other way. 1 on and 2 outs. Say, friends, take your family out to the ball game and save. Join us for Safeco Insurance Grand Slam Family Pack Night, where each member of the family will get a ticket, a hot dog, and a Pepsi for only $15. The final event of the season is this Wednesday against the Astros. Game time 7:10. Visit Mariners.com for tickets.
We'll see if Chris Denorfia can get the Mariners on the scoreboard with a couple of outs. Denorfia has grounded out to third, strikeout swinging his last time out. Mariners 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position this afternoon.
Chris 2 for 4 in the series with a home run to left field. Parked one straightaway left a few nights ago, then hit a double the other way to right field. Just looking for a base hit to try to get Sucre in with the game's first run. Holland taking some time. Up and away. 1-1. Derek Collins, a fun guy. He does a great Harry Carey impersonation. Harry, the Hall of Fame broadcaster for years with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs, one of the more beloved broadcasters in the history of the game, along with our very own Dave Niehaus. Fouled away by Denorfia, and the count 1-2. One on, 2 outs. Mariners trying to get to Holland here in the 6th inning. And strike 3 called on Denorfia. That'll end the inning. Strikeout number 4 for Derek Holland. No runs. 1 hit, the double by Sucre. 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Still 0-0. Sports is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. What a day out for baseball. Cloudy skies. Mariner fans here at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas for this, the final game of the 4-game series, final game of the road trip. Good to see some Mariner fans here in Texas. Mariners looking for a sweep of the 4-game set. Leonis Martin to lead things off. He's 1 for 2 with a bunt single. His last him up in the third. What a matchup between Paxton and Holland. More Mariner fans here at the ballpark. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Martin, Robertson, and Rosales for the Rangers. Now managed by Tim Bolgar. Washington resigned a few days ago. Went home to take care of some personal issues, and we wish him the best.
Kyle Seager in on the grass at third. Martin already a couple of bunt base hits in this series. Looked like he tried to hit a past Kyle that time. Now you can see Kyle. One of the advantages of having some speed. Get a bunt base hit, and then when the third baseman comes up, doesn't have as much range. Opens up some holes for you on the left side.
Lined right back up the middle, of base hit for Martin, his second base hit this afternoon. And the Rangers have their leadoff man on for the second time today.
It looks like he gets a cut fastball out over the plate. It's elevated, and he hits a line drive right by James. Paxton will have to work a little bit harder to keep him close to first. He's already tried to steal a base back in the third. Sucre was able to throw him out, but he's fearless. He'll try it again.
How about that catch Sashi Wakuma made the other night? Line drive right back into the
Self-defense.
Oh, man. He's down to Robertson 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Shows bunt, and he takes down low. Ball 1. Paxton opened up the year with a ball club with back-to-back wins against the Angels, 8-2 on April the 2nd and 5-3 on April the 8th. That's when he came up with that strained lat muscle that put him on the DL for just about 4 months. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Made a few rehab starts, 3 down at Tacoma. He's had 79 pitches this afternoon. So Paxton with a lot of time off because of the DL. On a play down the right field side, and it's 2-1 on Robertson.
One of the better fastballs that we've seen from Paxton. That one at 95 miles an hour. And on the outside corner.
Paxton again looking for a ground ball. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. Thrown down to second by Sucre, and safe at second is Martin with a steal. Strong throw by Jesus. Well, Martin, a good jump.
It's a tough pitch to throw on because it was down. Sucre had to wait before he came out of his crouch. So many times they like the ball up a little bit more. Still a strong throw. He wants to throw everybody out.
Yeah.
And he clearly beats it.
2-2 on Robertson. Ball 3, full count. Robertson's job now to try to bounce one to the right side. Adam Rosales due up next. He had a bunt single in the 4th inning. Dominic Leone getting ready down to the Mariners bullpen. Great job by the pen in last night's ball game. Charlie Furbush, Danny Farquhar, Fernando Rodney picking up his 43rd save of the year. Fouled away on the third base side. Still 3-2 on Robertson.
Another cut fastball in on his hands, trying to keep him from hitting the ball the other way. He's had some success with runners in scoring position. 344 average.
First guy to the bullpen last night, Mike, was young right-hander Carson Smith. In 2/3 of an inning, that was his second appearance in the big leagues. And there he is, the young man from Midland, Texas, seated alongside Danny Farquhar. Back up the middle, Cano to his right, looks at third, but has to go to first with the throw, and it's in time to get Robertson. One out, runner on at third for the Rangers. Let's check in with Jen. All right, Jen, thank you very much. Here is Adam Rosales. The infield is up close. No score. Runner at third, Martin. This is the first time of the ball game the Rangers have had a runner as far as third base against James Paxton. Martin with a single, a steal of second, went to third on that ground ball out by Robertson.
Mariners bring their infield in with one out. So far the Rangers 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Mariners bringing their infield in with, look at the way that Holland's going. Runs are going to be at a premium, and with one out I think it's a good gamble. Even though there's a lot of speed at with Martin, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going on contact right here.
Keep your eyes on Martin. And they call for a pitch out there. We're looking for the squeeze.
Rosales already with a bunt base hit.
Count was 1-0, so a good idea to take a look. Ball 3. Rosales way out in front of the count, 3-0. And on deck is that guy, Adrian Beltre.
Just typically don't like to bring their infield in. Cuts down the range of the infielders, opens up more holes, and with Paxton he throws a lot of ground balls, so he's just hoping that they hit one at one of the fielders to keep this run from scoring.
3-1 on Rosales.
I think again with the way that Holland's going, he's been efficient with his pitches. He's going to pitch deep in this game. I think you have to bring the infield in right here.
They'll try to cut off that run at the plate. 3-1. And it's low for ball 4, so Rosales with a walk, and now the Rangers have runners on at first and third with one away. Well, that is the second walk given up by James Paxton.
And Lloyd McClendon looks like he's going to come out to the mound. I don't know if he's going to have a conversation with Paxton or make a change and go to Leon. Paxton right now at 89 pitches. Keeps looking out at the bullpen. I'm not sure that Leon is quite ready. That's a slow walk to the mound.
Lloyd still on his way out there. No signal to the bullpen. And I think he's going to keep him in. Here's a guy that we talked about it earlier, Mike, threw 118 pitches a few starts ago. That was against the Rangers back home in Seattle. He won that ball game 5-0. He will hang in there with James Paxton.
92 pitches against Oakland in his last outing.
So Lloyd heads on back to the Mariners' third base dugout.
Well, the thing that you like about this is Beltre isn't going to bunt in this situation. He's going to try to drive the run in, and Paxton throws a lot of ground balls, so now you can move your infield back, set things up for the double play, try to get out of the inning with a ground ball right here. Already a couple of double plays for the Mariners in this game.
Fouled out of play behind the plate. Big cut by Beltre, and the count is 0-1, and Mike, he never gets cheated, does he?
No, and you want to see that pitch. You want to see it down in the zone. It was a good fastball at 95 miles an hour, but you want it down. Beltre, understanding the situation, the veteran wants to hit the ball in the air. He has a fly out to center field and walked his last time up.
High in the air, center field. Austin Jackson is there, waits, and he makes the catch. Tagging at third is Martin, heading home with the game's first run. 1-0 Texas. Beltre with a sacrifice fly to center field, scoring Martin easily. Austin Jackson's throw into second base to keep Rosales at first. 2 outs in the inning.
Well, maybe James can still get out of this inning, giving up just the 1 run. We'll take a look at it. Again, trying to get the ball down. Beltre understanding the situation. He wanted to get the cutter in there, see if he can pull the ball to Kyle Seager at third and keep the run from scoring. But Beltre staying inside the ball, able to hit the fly ball to center field. It's a good battle right there from a veteran and a young, talented left-handed pitcher.
Here's JP Arancibia. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. So 1 on, 2 outs, 1 run in, the only run of the game. Texas a run and 5 hits. The Mariners no runs, 4 hits off of Derek Holland. There goes the runner, swing and a pop up down the right field side on the run. Romero, and he's going to run out of rooms. This one is back up into the crowd and out of play. And it's 0-2 on Arancibia as Rosales was off to the races.
And that helped the Mariners. He had a great jump over at first base. And with the foul ball, he'll have to return.
Oh, 2. Arancibia hitting just 168. Up high for ball 1-1-2. In a blowout earlier this year, Arancibia had to pitch in a ball game. That was on August the 13th in a game against Tampa Bay. 94 pitches for Paxton. And Arancibia had a scoreless inning of relief. Pitch out and holding it first, Rosales. 1-2. Skipper Lloyd McClendon always trying to think about what the other guy is thinking. There goes the runner. Up high a ball. Sucre's throw down to Cano, off his glove into center field. Rosales gets up, heads for third. He's going to make it easily. A stolen base for Adam Rosales. 2 here in the inning for the Rangers. And also there in the throw by Sucre.
Look at the jump by Rosales. Again, going on the first move. Not trying to read Paxton. Paxton with a slide step. I think if Sucre makes an accurate throw, he's still able to throw him out.
But now the Rangers have a man on at third base with 2 outs. 3-2 and a swing and a miss for strike 3. Paxton strikes out Arancibia. That'll end the inning. But the Rangers get 1 run here in the bottom of the 6th on 1 base hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on. After 6, Rangers lead 1-0. the Mariners get back home tomorrow night to take on the Houston Astros. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Felix Hernandez will be on the mound. That means Kings Court will be in session. Off day on Thursday. The Oakland A's get to town on Friday night. Game 1 of a big 3-game series. Come on by Safeco Field. We go to the top half of the 7th inning here in Texas. Rangers now lead by a score of 1-0. Texas getting that 1 run in the bottom of the 6th inning on a sacrifice fly by Adrian Beltre. This guy has been tough. Derek Holland.
Yeah, and unfortunately he's only thrown 67 pitches, 42 strikes in this one. He's in great shape as far as his pitch count goes.
A lot of gas left in the tank for Derek Holland. Pitch count is way down. Robinson Cano leading things off here in the 7th inning. Looking at ball 1.
Middle of the lineup for the Mariners. See if they can get that run back. Cano with a base hit. Morales waiting on deck. He's 1 for 2 with a double.
Well, the Mariners have hit 12 home runs in the last 8 games. 6 home runs in this series. Jam shot fouled away by the Rangers dugout, and the count is 2-1 on Robinson. Fouled away. Chris Woodward makes another nice play. Just like he did last night, coaching over there at first base as the count goes to 2-2 on Cano. Play shortstop. He's done a really good job with the 2 young shortstops on this ball club, Miller and Taylor, and everybody else around.
Been the #1 fielding team in the American League for most of the year.
#1 in pitching. At the top in defense. Fouled away again by Cano. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. And when you have that combination, Mike, you always have a chance to win day in and day out.
That's a big reason why the Mariners are in the situation that they're in. And now scoring runs. A little bit tougher today, but in this series they've scored 21 runs.
Won the first game 10-2. Second game 7-5. Last night 4-2. Outscoring Texas 21-9. Ball 3, full count on Cano, 3-2. And on this road trip, they have outscored their opponents 30-21. They've won 5 in a row. The Rangers, in the meantime, they have lost 8 in a row and 10 of their last 13 games. Tough year for Texas. Ground ball. Third base side, backhanded by Rosales. High throw to first, and it pulls Rua off the bag. And Cano is safe at first base. Mariners have the tie and run aboard.
And this will be an infield hit. Cues it off the end of the bat, and you can see Rosales probably needed to take another half a step. Ended up having to reach with the backhanded play, and by then Cano able to beat it out. So a good start for the Mariners here in the 7th.
Second base hit for Cano.
Talked about it with the Rangers. Mariners #1 fielding percentage in the American League. The Rangers are 14th.
Way down there.
And typically when you see that, that's not the entire story. There's a lot of plays that aren't made that there are not ruled errors.
Exactly.
So
Kendrys Morales with a strike 0-1 in their last in ERA. 4.72 ERA.
We talked about it even in last night's ball game. The Mariners were down 2-0. You just have to hang in there, and Paxton has been able to do that. You never know when they're going to make a mistake or they get into that bullpen where they have struggled. That's why you get that base hit from Robinson Cano. It's not only nice to get that leadoff hit, but it may add a few more pitches to what Holland has done. He's now at 76.
Get to that bullpen. It was Neil Kotz who got the loss last night in relief for the Rangers. He went 1 inning, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. Inside again. 2-1 on Kendrys. On deck for the Mariners, Kyle Seager. Holland taking a lot of time between pitches. Slow curve and a swing and a miss.
Well, Kendrick's looking for that fastball inside, and Holland changed up on him. 76 miles an hour on the breaking ball, well in off the plate. You can see what he's done in his career against Holland. Some success, 6 for 23.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and 1 out for the Mariners here in the top of the 7th inning. Strikeout number 5 for Derek Holland. Well, friends, the most popular way to follow the Mariners' push to the postseason is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, replay, review, scores, live radio broadcast, the MLB TV game of the day, and more. Get at bat for your smartphone or tablet on the App Store or visit Mariners.com.
Mariners look for Kyle Seager to try to get it done for him again. Kyle with a 2-run home run in last night's ball game.
Lined out his last time up. He had the green light on 3-0 and hit a rocket right to Odor, the second baseman.
Well, Holland in this one was paying attention because he's trying to keep the ball away from Kyle. Another off-speed pitch right on the outside corner.
Third baseman Rosales playing way off the line, as the shortstop Sardinas is toward the bag at second.
Take a look at the home run by Kyle in last night's game. Again, the Mariners down 2-0 until Kyle hits his 2-run homer to tie it up.
Got the Mariners right back in the ball game. Fly ball into right center field. On the run is Michael Choice near the warning track where he makes the catch. 2 outs for the Mariners here in the top of the 7th inning. Back to first base goes Robinson Cano.
Well, he tried to give him the lead again. This was a fastball and it was up and in, and Kyle, I think it jams him just enough. Didn't quite get the barrel to and get all of it.
And time is called as the catcher Aaron Sebia heads out to the mound. Have a talk with Holland. Right now he's the story for the Rangers this afternoon, Mike. He's given up only 5 hits.
Well, he has been, but you mentioned the Mariners have been hitting some home runs, especially on this road trip. Corey Hart with a home run. He's off of Lester down in Oakland, or up in Oakland.
Let's see if Corey can run into one and swing and miss.
Take a look what Corey did on Wednesday. The Mariners in a tie ball game 1-1, and he gets a fastball down out over the plate.
Well, that is way back there at the Oakland Coliseum, giving the Mariners a 2-1 lead and a 2-1 win over John Lester. What a matchup between Felix and Lester. Inside and off the glove of Aaron Sebia. Gets behind him. And that will get Cano the tying run down to second base.
A good break for the Mariners with 2 outs. He'll move into scoring position. It's like a breaking ball. And that will be a pass ball, I'm sure.
Off the glove of Aaron Sebia.
Mariners 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Again, started this game on the season. They're hitting .270 as a team. Runners in scoring position.
Now just a base hit to tie things up. Little roller along the third base line. Up with the ball, slipping and falling down the pitcher, Derek Holland. And a break for the Mariners. They now have runners out at first and third with 2 outs.
Take a look at it. You can see out in front of home plate, they put a lot of water on the dirt right there, and the ball dies. And Holland trying to make the play quickly. He ends up losing his footing. And that will be an infield hit.
So
now to look at it, Holland gets off the mound in good shape, but the turf just comes out from under his feet. That'll be a base hit. Now they have the trainers and the pitching coach, the manager, everybody out have a conversation with Holland, and he's saying he's fine.
He wants to stay in this ball game.
Well, he had surgery and he missed the majority of the year. They're not going to take a chance on him right now. They want to get him ready for next year. If he has any issues at all, I'm sure that they would take him out of the ball game. Sean Tollison getting loose in the pen. James Jones has come out. He will pinch run for Corey Hart. Corey finishes the day 1 for 3.
You've got the speed of Jones on at first base, who represents the go-ahead run of the game. The tying run is on at third base. 2 on and 2 outs for Stephen Romero. Collins says he's okay after he tripped trying to plant his feet to get to that little roller along the third base line off the bat of Corey Hart. So Mariners trying to cash in here in the 7th inning. Right now down 1-0.
Stephen 0 for 2 in the ball game. A ground out and a fly out for him.
And a move to first base. Jones diving back to the bag. Derek Collin coming up with the Rangers back in 2009. Mariners have hit the long ball in this road trip. 10 home runs on the trip. Fouled away. 0-1 on Romero. Lloyd McClendon going through the signs over there at third base for Rich Donnelly. Donnelly now talking things over with Cano.
A couple of infield hits for the Mariners, and that's helped get Holland's pitch count up. He's at 86 pitches now. At the start of the inning, just 67.
That slow breaking ball again, blow. 0-2 on Romero. Runners get their leads at the corners. Low and inside, another breaking ball for ball 1. 1-2 on Stephen. Merrill checks in with third base coach Rich Donnelly. Mariners their best opportunity against Derek Collin, and it's here in the 7th inning. Fouled away again past the on-deck hitter Chris Taylor, and it's still 1-2 on Romero. Let's see if he wants to talk things over with Holland. They meet about halfway.
I don't think he liked the location of that last pitch. It was an off-speed pitch, but it was up and in the middle of the plate. And he has a 1-2 count. I think he wanted to make sure that if he throws it again, that he gets it in the dirt.
It was right there. And that one is high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Chris Taylor waiting on deck.
Mariners came back from a 2-0 deficit last night to win it 4-2. Line foul way out of play on the left field side. And it's still 2-2 on Romero. It was a long night. Had the 3-hour and 13-minute rain delay at the start of the ball game. Chris Young going 5 innings, gave up 2 runs unearned. And the 2-2 low and inside in the dirt. Ball 3. Right now good at bat for Romero.
91 pitches, 24 pitches in the inning for Holland.
If Stephen can shoot one into the gap right here, great chance for Jones with his speed to score from first.
Well, he will score.
He's going to take off. Fouled away on the third base side, and that's going to scatter some of the guys at the top step of the dugout.
And he has tried to throw everything inside to Romero. A couple of pitches that were out over the middle of the plate were mistakes, but he's trying to stay in on his hands.
What do you try to do with that pitch?
Well, it's difficult because it looks like it's going to be a strike. It ends up in off the plate, and with 2 strikes, I think Stephen's doing what he's supposed to. You have to at least swing the bat. You don't want to stand there and get called out on strikes.
Ground ball to third, backhanded by Rosales. The toss across, and it's in time to get Romero, and Derek Collin gets out of a jam here in the top of the 7th inning. No runs, a couple of hits, and 2 are left on. 7th inning stretch time. Rangers lead 1-0. And Dave Valley back in the studio, and the new pitcher Mike is right-hander Dominic Leone.
His 50th appearance on the season, 2.30 ERA, 61 strikeouts, 23 walks. Opponents hitting .221 against Dominic. Dominic with a good fastball. He'll be 95 miles an hour with a hard slider. Listening to Val talk about Holland and the Mariners and their offense, I think that last inning, even though they weren't able to score, was a good inning for them because now Holland up over 90 pitches. He has to be close to being done in this one. And the Rangers have had some issues out in their bullpen. We've already seen a couple of guys making their major league debut coming out of the pen in this series.
Yeah, two of them a couple of nights ago. Michael Choice will lead off the bottom half of the 7th inning for Texas. Only one run in this game. The Mariners have out hit the Rangers 6-5. Fouled away 0-1. Choice is 1 for 2. And a base hit to left field back in the 2nd inning. So slim pickings today offensively because of the pitching of the two starters. Dominic Leone from Norwich, Connecticut. Strike on the outside corner. The count is 0-2.
Well located slider on the outside corner at 89 miles an hour.
Dominic stuck around for a long time at spring training, was one of the final cuts, went to Tacoma, never pitched for the Rainiers though. Early in the season, Mariners designated for assignment Hector Noesi. Eventually he wound up here, and then it was on to the Chicago White Sox, but Leone was called up, never pitched for Tacoma.
Taijuan Walker getting loose in the bullpen along with Lucas Lidke. Both of them are up getting loose.
More arms available. And a swing and a miss by Choice for strike 3, and right away Leone has strikeout number 1. Time now for our Geico this date in Major League Baseball history. Ken Griffey Jr. hits a career high and team record 50th home run off a Bob Tewksbury blow. You were there.
I was there. What a year he had. That one, Tewksbury, was he with the Twins or was he with the Rangers then? I'm trying to remember. 97. He was with the Rangers at that point. Yeah.
And that's it for Dominic Leone. So Lloyd McClendon right away will go down to his bullpen one more time. One out for the Rangers. Nobody on. They lead it 1-0. We'll be back after this timeout. There's nothing. We are in the bottom half of inning number 7. This reminder, this Thursday on Root Sports, we have another high school football game of the week presented by Papa Murphy's. Tune in to see the Eastlake Wolves kick off against the Inglemore Vikings. Action begins at 7 p.m. Don't miss your favorite local teams in action this season right here on Root Sports. New pitcher for the Mariners, left-hander Lucas Lidke blow.
And for Lucas, his 6th appearance on the year, 4.91 ERA. It's only thrown 3 2/3 innings. He has 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. Opponents hitting .231.
And he will face Rougned Odor, the second baseman. Odor has grounded out twice.
Walker continues to throw in the Mariner pen. Rua, right-handed hitter waiting on deck, so Lucas probably just going to face the one batter.
Odor, tough little out in this series. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Litke is from a little town called Industry, Texas, outside of Houston. Population 305. Tiny town. Popped up outside of third. Seager over to take a look, and this one is out of play, and the count is 2-1 on Odor. Spent a lot of time bussing around the state of Texas when I was in the Texas League for the Amarillo Gold Sox back in 1976 and 77. A lot of miles in that league, blown.
I was fortunate I never had to go into that league. Missed it.
2-2 on Odor. And he gets Odor looking. He strikes him out. So nice job by Lucas Litke, and popping out of the third base dugout is Lloyd McGlennon. He's going to go down to get the right-hander Taijuan Walker. So Litke does his job. 2 outs for the Rangers. 1-0 Texas. We'll be back after this timeout. Let's take a look at our Columbia Bank difference of the game.
And for the Mariners, the wrong guy at the wrong time. It's Adrian Beltre, the veteran. High fly ball out to center field. He'll pick up a sacrifice fly and drive in his 70th run of the season. And that is the difference in the game so far, as Martin will come across and score. Mariners down 1-0. Taijuan Walker going to take over with a couple of outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Taijuan had an opportunity to pitch in Oakland. He pitched well. Overall, this will be his 5th appearance on the year. ERA right at 3. 19 strikeouts in the 21 innings that he has pitched. 15 walks. Want to stay away from the walks. Opponent's hitting just 203 against him.
And he will take a look at Ryan Rua, who is 1 for 2 with a bloop single into right field, and was safe out of throwing error by Robinson Cano in the 5th. Nobody on. Strikeouts for Leon of Choice and Litke of Odor. Ball 1.
Collison and Cott's going to get loose for the Rangers.
Ball 2. Cott's got the loss in last night's ball game as the Mariners came back to win it by a score of 4-2. They've got 2 more chances. Ball 3. Taijuan trying to find the strike zone with Sardinas due up next. Three and one. We'll be back home at Safeco Field tomorrow night. Swing and a miss at a fastball, and the count full on Rua, 3-2. Felix Hernandez tomorrow night against Brad Peacock. The payoff pitch. Fly ball into right center field on the run. Romero, and he's there to make the catch out by the 1-8 track to retire the side. Nice running catch by Stephan. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Rangers lead 1-0. All right, thank you, Jen. We've got a new pitcher for the Texas Rangers. That's it for Derek Hollandblow.
7 innings, 6 hits. Did not give up any runs today. No walks, 5 strikeouts. He threw 93 pitches, and the good news, he is out of the game. Sean Tollison will take over. A 2.97 ERA for Sean. Opponents hitting just 2.07 against him.
Brad Miller leading things off. Pinch hitting for Taylor. Fly ball right field. Going back near the 1-8 track is Michael Choice to make the catch. Miller jumping on that first pitch from Tollison. Gave it a pretty good ride.
And Lloyd McClendon is going to call Sucre back to the dugout. Sucre hitting 9th in the lineup today. And we're going to get a pinch hitter for him as Miller flies out.
There's trying to
Andy
get
Chavez. Andy Chavez pinch hitting for Sucre. Andy's done a nice job pinch hitting this year. He is 5 for 10 as a pinch hitter.
You're always going to get that quality at bat. Work the count, grind out an at bat if he falls behind. So he goes to his veteran off the bench, Andy Chavez, still sporting that bandage above his left eye, sliding headfirst into second base. His head collided with the left knee of Sardinas. Used 3 stitches to close that cut.
Lloyd McClendon so far, this is 3 players off of his bench. Chavez, Jones came on as a pinch runner, and then Miller, who just flew out. See who will go in and catch after Indy hits. He has Zunino and Quintero on the bench. Smoke is also available as a pinch hitter. You also from the left side have Ackley and Morrison.
A lot more options in September with the 7 call-ups from AAA Tacoma. So here's Andy Chavez. It's out in front of the count right away from Tolleson. Ball 1. He has a couple of home runs. His job, though, right now, get on base. Close at third base is Adam Rosales playing at the cut of the grass. Little pop up on a play on the third base side, and the count is even on Endy at 1 ball and 1 strike. Endy came up back in 2001 as a Kansas City Royal. This is his 14th year in the big leagues. Likes to slash that ball the other way. That's how they play him. Outfield turn around to the left side. 1 and 2. Tolleson on in relief a couple of nights ago, 1 2/3 innings, and gave up 2 runs, both earned, 1 hit, and he walked 1. Ground ball, scooping it up at first base. Rua takes it to the bag for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 down for the Mariners here in the top of the 8th, 1-0 Texas. Say join the fun at Safeco Field when you stop by the Seattle Children's Playfield located in center field. Your youngsters will enjoy the playground while you watch the plays on the field live from HD TVs. We'll see you and the entire family at the ballpark. And the Mariners will be back home tomorrow night to take on the Houston Astros.
Austin Jackson, leadoff hitter, will step in. Austin today 1 for 3. He has a good-sized gap out in right center field.
Fouls away the first pitch, 0-1. Mariners picking up Jackson from the Detroit Tigers in that 3-way deal back on July 31st. Ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sean Tolleson taking over from Derek Holland. Rangers have used 40 pitchers this year. On a play on the first base side, 1 and 2. Mike, you kind of are seeing Jackson trying to drive that ball the other way.
Well, he's pitching him away late in the ballgame, trying to protect a 1-run lead. 8th, 9th inning relievers typically will pitch away, and you can see on our EQC tracer those pitches away. And now Martin has moved over towards right center field. They switched him around.
Up and away, ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mariners since April the 23rd have gone 71 and 50. Right now for the year, 15 games over 500, their high watermark for the year. Looking for their 79th win of the season. Ground ball, base hit into left field, and with 2 outs here in the 8th, the Mariners have the tying run aboard. Solid base hit off the bat of Austin Jackson.
And we're going to have another pinch hitter, Logan Morrison, going to come out and pitch hit for Denorfia. All those pitches away, and this one ends up in the middle of the plate, and he hits it hard through the hole on the left side of the infield.
So Morrison will come out to hit for Chris Denorfia. Logan got the start in last night's ball game, was 1 for 4, drove in a run with a base hit, a line drive over the head of shortstop Elvis Andrews. That scored Kyle Seager with run number 4 as the Mariners won 4-2.
Well, they've had Kotz ready to go in the pen. I would have thought they'd go get the left-hander, but he's going to leave Tolleson in there.
There's Kotz still out there. Another left-handed bat due up next, and Robinson Cano. Soft toss to first base to get Jackson back to the bag. Still think back to that last road trip in Boston where the Mariners were down 3-0 and came up with 5 runs in the top half of the 9th inning. It started what turned out to be a 3-game sweep over the Red Sox. And a move to first base. Jackson started to lean a little bit, was able to get back. 3 times the Mariners were down to their final strike in that 9th inning, but they came away with 5 runs against Koji Uehara.
And now Mike Maddox is going to come out of the dugout. Probably go over the scouting report on Morrison. Cano waiting on deck.
That was an amazing comeback that day at Fenway Park, Mike.
There's had a few of them this year. Been good to see. Maybe we can get one more here today. Only down a run. And they're going to leave the right-hander in, so maybe Logan Morrison can make him pay for that decision.
6 home runs on the year. Just looking for a mistake. Get one out to right field. Great target for a left-handed hitter here at Globe Life Park. 1 on and 2 outs. Low and outside, and it gets on by the catcher Aaron Sevilla all the way to the backstop, and that will send the potential tying run down to second base in Jackson. 1-0 on Morrison, and now Aaron Sevilla goes back out to have a talk with Sean Tollison.
Well, I think he just wants to make sure they're on the same page as far as the signs now that you have a runner at second base. They'll go through a series of signs and wants to make sure they get it right.
And a wild pitch charge to Tollison. The Mariners trying to capitalize. 1-0 on Morrison. On deck Cano. Hopped up left side of the infield. Coming down the line is Adam Rosales. Still coming down the line. He's there and makes the catch. And that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on. We head to the bottom of the 8th here in Texas. Still the Rangers 1 and the Mariners nothing. Half of the 8th inning. Say friends, ride with all of your fans on Sound Transit and enjoy freedom from traffic and parking. To plan your next trip, visit soundtransit.org. Bottom of the 8th, only 1 run in this game. We have a number of changes for the Mariners. Stephen Romero goes from right field to left field. Andy Chavez now takes over in right field. Mariners have a new shortstop in Brad Miller. And a new catcher in Mike Zunino as Taijuan Walker delivers high and outside to Luis Sardinas. Ball 1. Ball 2. When we go to the top of the 9th inning, due up for the Mariners, Cano, Morales, and Seager, so don't go away. Ball 3. Walker fell behind the first batter he faced in relief at the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-0 on Ryan Rua. He was able to come back and get him as Rua flew out to Romero and right. Strike 3 and 1. On deck, Martin. He's been a tough out in the series.
Neftali Feliz getting loose in the pen for the Rangers. Hard throwing right-hander.
Was the closer a while back when the Rangers went to back-to-back World Series. Ground ball wide of the mound. Coming up is Cano. And a quick flip to first in time to get Sardinas. 1 out for the Rangers here in the bottom of the 8th. Well, friends, be here this fall as Big Sky Conference football kicks off on Root Sports, presented by your local Ford stores. Watch the Eastern Washington Eagles take on the Montana State Bobcats. All the action begins Saturday, September 20th at noon Pacific time on Root Sports, the home of Big Sky football. 1 away, and here is Martin. Leonis takes a look at ball 1. Love to watch Bo Blowers play a football game this fall.
Looking forward to it. Walker has a good fastball today. He's topped out at 96 miles an hour. A lot of the pitches are up, though. Let's see him get down in the strike zone. One of the adjustments he made was he pitches out of the stretch all the time now.
Coming right after Martin, 1-2 the count after falling behind Rua and Sardinas. Now he's out in front at 1-2. Popped up behind home plate off to our left. Still 1-2. A lot of ability wrapped up in that 6'4" frame of Walker. Former first-round draft choice by the Mariners. The supplemental on at Yucaipa, California. Ground ball to first. Tricky hop, bounces right over Morales and down the right field line. Martin can run, heading for second. He's going to make the turn, try for 3. The throw in is going to be cut off by Miller, and Martin in at third base with a bad hop triple down the right field line.
Looks like it's going to be a routine 2-hopper. The ball has a lot of top spin on it. And that second hop, you can see it comes right up, bouncing almost over the head of Morales. He was in good shape to make the play, but a bad hop. And once it gets down towards the corner with Martin's speed, it's an easy triple for him. Mariners have to bring their infield in again.
So now the Rangers have a runner on at third with 1 away. 7th triple of the season for Leonis Martin. And here's left fielder Daniel Robertson. Robertson hitless in 3 tries. 3 times he's grounded out. Andy Van Slyke moving Chavez over toward the line in right field. On a hop over to Seager. What a stop. Checks the runner Martin, and he gets Robertson at first base. Holy smokes, what a play by Kyle Seager at the hot corner.
He has some of the best hands you're going to see. This is not an easy play. Again, he's in. This ball's hit right on the button. First pitch, fastball, kind of a tweener hop. Kyle's able to handle it.
No problem. I've got this.
Good thing. That would have hit him right in the shin.
Had plenty of time to make sure that Martin wasn't going anywhere, and then he throws out Robertson. 1 on 2 outs for Adam Rosales, and he takes low and outside. Ball 1. You made a few of those in your day.
Not anymore. You have good hands down there, Ricky. You have quick reflexes.
He made plenty.
What a job. What a job he has done this year.
Oh. He has made all the plays.
Walker wants to get Rosales. So you have Beltre waiting on deck. Beltre's driven in the 1 run for the Rangers. A sacrifice fly back in the 6th inning.
Quick turnaround for both these ball clubs. Mariners getting back to the hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning after that 3-hour and 13-minute rain delay at the start of the game last night. And a swing and a miss by Rosales. Taijuan Walker strikes him out. And the Rangers leave Martin stranded at 3rd. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. Last try for the Mariners. We go to the top of the 9th. Our score, the Rangers 1 and the Mariners nothing. Trailed by the 1 run, and veteran right-hander Neftali Feliz will take over to work the top of the 9th inning. Mike.
Feliz 7 saves on the year. He's blown 1 of them, a 2.66 ERA, 15 strikeouts, 8 walks. Opponents hitting .205 against him. Good fastball and a slider, and look what he has done against the Mariners. Mariners hitting just .036 against him, 2 for 56, 10 saves.
That's unbelievable. 2 hits in his career.
That just means he's due to give up a couple of runs right there.
A 0.00 ERA. Here is Robinson Cano. So you got the middle of the order right here. Cano, Morales, and Seager in the top of the 9th inning. 1 to tie, 2 to take a lead. And he's 2 for 5 with a home run against Feliz. Fouled away by Cano off his foot. 0-1. Cano this afternoon 2 for 3, a couple of singles. Ground ball pulled right to the second baseman Odor, and his throw to first. 1 out for the Mariners here in the top of the 9th inning. 1 down, and that'll bring up first baseman Kendrys Morales. Morales with one of the few hits for the Mariners this afternoon. He had a leadoff double off starting pitcher Derek Holland back in the 2nd, but was stranded at 3rd base.
Hit a couple of home runs on Friday night, both of them hitting left-handed.
Second one was way out of here to right field. Down low, ball 1. Infield turn around to the right side. The shortstop Sardinas almost behind the bag at second. High and outside for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. There's a look at Sardinas. Back to the right side. Odor and Rua. Way off the line at third. Rosales. Mariners had an opportunity back in the 7th inning. And that's outside. Ball 3. 3-0 the count on Morales, with Kyle Seager due up next. In there for a strike. 3-1. Final game of the 4-game series for the Mariners. Final game of the road trip. And it's outside for ball 4. So the Mariners have the tying run aboard with 1 out here in the 9th inning. And that will bring up Kyle Seager.
We're going to get a pinch runner, I'm sure. And it looks like it's going to be Danny Farquhar.
How about that? Lloyd McClendon going to his bullpen one more time, but this time for a pinch runner. Danny Farquhar will take over at first base to run for Morales. And Danny represents the tying run of the ball game with 1 down.
Danny pitched a couple of innings yesterday, so he's probably not available to pitch, and Lloyd's going to use him as a pinch runner.
Popped up behind home plate, out of play, and the count is 0-1. That's only the 7th time the Mariners have had a base runner against Neftali Feliz. I mentioned he's given up only 2 hits in his career against Seattle. And he won't be doing anything too fancy over there at first base. Just run fast. A base hit by Seager. Up high.
Well, as you look at it with the Mariners, they've used Chavez, Jones, Miller, Morrison. All of them would have been available to run. Zanino in the game now catching. So you have Ackley, Smoke, and Quintero available. Dustin having some leg issues. That's why he didn't start today. As you see Medina getting loose.
Ackley had that sore ankle that he suffered in last night's game, sliding in the mud to make a catch. Popped up outside of third. Over to take a look. Rosales, and he's going to run out of room as it lands inside the Mariners dugout. And it goes to 1-2 on Seager.
James Jones waiting on deck. He came on as a pinch runner for Corey Hart. He's now in the DH spot for the Mariners, so he's waiting on deck.
One on, 1 away. The tying run at first, and pinch runner Danny Farquhar. And Feliz taking a lot of time as Seager backs away from home plate. That's out of play on the third base side. Still 1-2 on Kyle. Kyle on the road trip going into today's game was hitting .409 with 3 home runs and 6 runs batted in.
Feliz doesn't have the fastball that he used to. He's 92 to 94 miles an hour. He used to be in the upper 90s. Had some health issues.
Missed a lot of time the last few seasons. Ground ball, base hit into right field. Danny Farquhar the turn at second. He'll make it to third. Up with the ball is Michael Choice, a throw to second base. Kyle Seager with a clutch base hit. And the Mariners now have the tying run 90 feet away at third, and the go-ahead run is on at first base.
He's finally able to get to a fastball. The first one that is down in the zone as he hits it past Rua, the first baseman. And Danny Farquhar doing a good job coming around third. Not a bad turn. He runs well. Is able to get to third without a throw.
Time is called. Interim manager Tim Bogar out to the mound. And it looks like that may be it for Neftali Feliz. James Jones. Oh, nobody's in the bullpen. It looks like Mr. Feliz is going to be up there. James Jones due up for the first time. He came out as a pinch runner for Corey Hart.
Now, would you dare put on a squeeze play with Danny Farquhar running at third?
Is that a no? He's talking things over with Rich Donnelly. Rich is having a little fun with Daddy over there, who represents the tie and run. Well, let's see what Lloyd has up his sleeve.
Well, this is interesting. They're going to have the middle of the infield back. That should help the Mariners because Jones is a tough customer to try to double up. He can really get down the line. Rosales, the third baseman, playing even with the bag.
2 on, only 1 out. Top of the 9th inning. Out of play on the third base side, and the count is 0-1. James Jones from Brooklyn, New York, Long Island University.
Martin, the center fielder, shading him towards left center, expecting him to hit the ball the other way.
Fouled away off the screen behind home plate. And it's 0-2 on James. Skipper Lloyd McClendon trying to push all the right buttons to get a run, hopefully 2 here in the top half of the 9th inning. Derek Holland was outstanding this afternoon. The starters, 7 scoreless innings for the Rangers. Back to the dugout. Ground ball, broken bat, foul on the third base side, and the count is still 0-2 on Jones.
That's the best fastball we've seen from Feliz. It's 96 miles an hour on the inner half of the plate, and it'll jam James. With 2 strikes, he's just trying to find a way to put the ball in play right now. Have to get a new bat.
James back up there. With 1 out, Morales walked. Farquhar went out to pinch run. Seager with the base hit to right field. And again, the 0-2 to Jones, fouled away again off the netting behind home plate. Hanging in there against Feliz.
Feliz, 16 pitches, and again, that fastball velocity starting to go up. The last one at 97 miles an hour.
Going hard. Danny getting some instructions from third base coach Rich Donnelly. Runners get their leads. Fouled away again by Jones. Good battle right here, Blow. James hanging in there against Feliz. And that fastball at 97 this time.
And so far, Feliz, nothing but fastballs to him, but James having a tough time catching up to it.
Skipper Lloyd McClendon looking for a comeback win this afternoon here in Arlington. Again, the 0-2 to Jones. Fly ball into shallow left field. Going out is Sardinas, calling for it, and Sardinas will make the catch for the second out here in the 9th. Little pop up into left field. The Mariners are down to their final out here in the 9th inning.
We'll take a look at it. Jams him again, pops it up to the shortstop. The Mariners now 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. That one base hit, Corey Hart was able to get it earlier in the game. And Justin Smoke is going to come out and pinch hit for Romero.
So Justin Smoke will be the final hope for the Mariners this afternoon. 2 on and 2 outs. Tying run at third. Farquhar the go-ahead run at first. Kyle Seager.
Lloyd, he has a full bench and he's using them all.
Yeah. He has used Morrison and Jones, Miller, Chavez. Now Smoke has used Farquhar out of the bullpen to pinch run.
Zunino.
Like Zunino in there catching. 2 on, 2 outs. Strike 1 on Smoke. Fastball on the outside corner, according to Angel Hernandez. 2 for 5 against Phillies is Justin. Everybody on the top step of the dugout. Smoke trying to keep it going, and the 0-1 pitch on the way to Justin, and here she comes. Fly ball left field down the line. Going back, Robertson. He's there and makes the catch, and the Texas Rangers avoid the sweep. They hang on and they win it. They shut out the Mariners this afternoon. A final score of 1-0. The Mariners gave it a try here in the top half of the ninth. They got 2 on, the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at first. But the Rangers come away with a win in game 4.
James Paxton pitched well in this one today, giving up just the 1 run through 6 innings. But the Mariners, something they've done so well in this road trip, is hit with runners in scoring position. Today, 1 for 10, and that 1 base hit did not drive in a run. So Mariners, a good road trip, 5-2 on the trip. They win both series, and they'll head back home and get things started against Houston back at Safeco Field tomorrow.
So we'll see you at Safeco Field tomorrow night. Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines begins now with Jen and Dave. Okay.